Today's video is all about building an enclosure for my new baby rhino iguana. Stick around. My name is Nick Pulaski. Growing up, I have always had a passion for wildlife, and with that passion, along with my passion of filmmaking, I get taken on some amazing adventures creating wildlife content, getting up close with a variety of incredible animals. So come follow along as I pursue my goals of educating, inspiring, exploring, and conserving wildlife, all while having fun, seeing the beauty in our natural world. What's going on, everyone? Thank you so much for joining me here today. I am joined here today by my beautiful, beautiful baby girl rhino iguana right here. Still nameless. Let me know down in the comments below what you think we should name her. Today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be building out an enclosure perfect for this size iguana right here. Iguanas do grow big. I want to make sure we're always constantly evolving this little girl's enclosure as she gets larger. She is going to grow at a nice, decent pace as well. So we want to make sure we keep that in mind. But for starters, what I figured we were going to do is we're going to do something with this right here, this space right here, which is perfect. It's roughly 36 by 20 by 30, and it is a perfect size that I would figure has the perfect amount of height that we would need, and the space involves that we could put platforms and a whole bunch of different stuff for an iguana this size, and when it gets a little bit bigger as well too. So she's going to do just fine in there. The other reason that I wanted to transform this space is it is more so in the center of the room. So this is something that this animal can constantly see me as I'm moving around this room, and it's all about building that trust as I've talked about in the past before. It's a great space for the time being. Again, she is going to be going through a lot of enclosure upgrades throughout her life, and we're going to do some really fun projects that I'm so excited about. Nonetheless, to start this off, we're going to be working on this space right here and transforming it into something that she would love, and I am so excited for her. She's checking me out right now. She is excited herself, and I am so excited to get her into something that is going to be perfect just for her specifically. So really stoked about that, but without further ado, let's kick this off with the build process. All the wood is pre-cut. As I'm going through this build, I will have all the dimensions, all the step-by-step process as we go through this build. I love doing custom builds, and I would love your feedback as well too. And if you have questions or anything, please leave those things down in the comments below. And again, this is just a custom enclosure that's going to work well for my situation, and maybe it's something that inspires you for your situation as well too. So again, please leave your questions and your comments down below. But nonetheless, let's get to building this beautiful enclosure for this beautiful girl right here. Are you ready for your new home? I am so excited to put you in this home. Wait till you see her go into this at the end. It's going to be so exciting for sure. Okay, so the tub is moved out of here that we had before for the tortoise table, and we are currently stuck with this frame right here. If you guys are curious about how I've made these stands before, I have videos of that in the past of how I've built these, so definitely check them out. I highly recommend them. They have worked great, and I use them universally for a lot of my reptile species. We're going to modify this a little bit. Like I said, we're going to be putting a back wall here, a couple side panels as well too. So the back wall is going to be about 4 feet wide by 29.5 inches tall, and the side walls are going to be 18 by 29.5 inches tall. And we're going to kind of work with those and kind of see the space kind of unfold from there. And there's probably some things that I have to modify and kind of work with. I know there's kind of some gaps at these upper corners here that I'm noticing as well too. I can easily work with around those as well. So I think what I'll do is I have to take these two bottom pieces out to essentially make some sort of bottom right here, which is completely hollow at the bottom right here. So how I'm going to do that is I'm basically going to swap these out. This right here is what I use as the vinyl covering and flooring for my actual tortoise table and pens. So I'm actually going to take this out and line the bottom of this. I have two pieces of that right here. It's insulation on the inside, so basically I'm going to swap that out with the panels. That's what we're going to do first. Okay, so as you can see, we have the insulation showing right now, so we took off the panel right here. Like I said, this vinyl right here is going to essentially go right on the bottom, and it fits perfectly. Between the two pieces, it'll kind of go all the way out here, maybe kind of fold up on the sides a little bit as well too. This pocket right here kind of creates that depth to hold substrate right here, which is perfect for them. They don't necessarily dig too much, but gives them that opportunity and puts a nice layer down here as well too. So we're going to have that to be the ability right there, and then all this right here has the ability to be for the features to come. So we're going to have wall, back wall, and then this front panel is going to be, it's going to be kind of divided off, where this part over here is going to be just kind of like chicken wire fencing, and then we're going to have a door over here as well too. That's also going to be that fighting fencing as well. So we're going to have that wire fencing on both sides, which is great because it gives them that visual area to look and kind of see out and also to enclose in the heat on the other sides. It also kind of makes them feel secure as well and not as vulnerable that they have to be looking around all so much. So I think that's kind of nice too. We're going to have some visual barriers inside as well too, to make sure that this animal is utmost comfortable as well. But that's all in layers to come. What we're going to do now is we're going to start building up the sidewalls, and then we'll start working our way this way. So this is the next step. Let's go get the sidewalls and the back wall. So there it is right there. We have both side panels, back panel right here, all perfectly in place. Now this is where the fun begins. So now we have to basically build out the framing right here. We're going to put these back in here right now in a second. And basically all I have to do, it's not too complicated, is I'm just going to line these up and just kind of make them flush at the bottom. And also too, what I have to do is I have to make sure that the bottom and the top are fully secure so the animal can't get back there. So we don't want the iguana to get stuck back there or get out or escape. I'm going to basically use what was at the bottom right here, and I'm going to put those right at the top. That should be an easy fix right there. Then at the bottom I will do something similar as well. It's coming along, that's for sure. So now the next thing after that is we have to start making the framing for the wall panel at the front along with the door. So that's what we're going to do next. So now we're doing the bottom layer right here. Again, very similar design to what we did with the tortoises. We're just going to bunch it like so, just to make sure. Even that's fine, truthfully. I'm not too picky about this. And it's just going to be covered. So you just want to make sure it's lined up. Now that opening is not something that iguana can get through. And again, this will all be covered. All right, as you can see, it's not perfect. Obviously, it's a little zigzaggy and whatnot. I didn't cut these. I just kind of unscrewed it and threw them back in. I mean, I always like to reuse different materials if I can, if possible. It worked out really well in this way that I could. But again, I'm not too worried about this looking perfect. I think it's going to hold everything and do the job that it needs to, mainly holding in all the debris and all the substrate, along with keeping the iguanas safe from escaping. So that area is all secure right there. Obviously, I could trim the edges a little bit, but I don't really necessarily mind it at all. I don't think it's going to be a bad thing. Again, there's going to be a lip on the side here as well too, so you're hardly going to see it anyway. Right, so now we have the door frame to work on. We're going to work on the framing for both the wall along with the door itself. So we're going to start with the door. I have the pieces, parts for the frame, and then I have the wiring off to the side that we're going to be working on as well. But we're going to be focusing more so on the door frame right now. So we are going to focus on getting this together piece by piece. Very simple to get the framing together. Puzzle this, and then we are going to start drilling it. We're also going to pre-drill to make the process a lot easier on us. So without further ado, let's get to that. And with that, I have a door frame. So we have one part of this already done. Easiest part so far, honestly. So the next step would be to cut the chicken wire for this. So we're going to cut the wiring for this, frame it all out, get that all on, and then we'll put the hinges on and we'll connect that piece, and then we'll start the next part. Very simple process. All I really need between this is I need a diagonal cover right here, which I have a little tiny one, and then I also have a staple gun right around here as well. So first thing is we're going to staple and kind of get a base going on basically 3 out of 4, so 75% of this we're going to get stapled down, and then we'll trim off the excess. So that's what we're going to start doing. Typically better to do this in a more open area, but working with what I got here. Yeah, I'm just going to kind of staple around here and just kind of go around the edges and trim off the excess. The process is going to go a lot quicker for you than it is for me, so enjoy this speed up time lapse right now.
pretty darn good, I would say. I think that looks pretty solid. Set, rock and roll, ready to go with this guy. So yeah, this is going to be a really nice door for sure. But yeah, I think we're ready to hang this guy up right now. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to get this on, see what this looks like, and then kind of go from there and then work on the wall panel as well. Okay, so now it's time for the hinges. We're going to start putting these on, and we are going to get this hooked up to the actual base of the frame for the enclosure. There we go. One on, one to go. Now we just have to hook this up and we have a door. So super exciting, one step closer for sure. Let's get this on. Here it is, guys. We have the door perfectly in place to where we need it to be. Next up, the wall panel. All right, same as we did with building the door frame, we have to build the front panel frame. And that's what we're gonna do right now. Similar process, basically the exact same that we're going to be doing to line up and go snug against this right here. So I'm gonna start working on the frame right now. Last of the framework is complete. All I have to do now is I have to staple on the wire and then we'll get to scaping the inside, which I may do right before I put on this panel just to make it a little bit easier on myself. So that's probably what I'll do first, just so you guys get a better visual representation of what I'm doing. Both panels are screened and ready to rock. So we will put this on later. Right now, let's get to decorating the enclosure. So we got the framing done. Again, like I said, we'll put up this panel here in a bit. But I figured let's scape out this, get the lights and the lighting all and wiring all figured out, and get this ready to go for its inhabitants. Bottom to the top, let's work with the substrate. So I use a cypress mulch substrate. It's 100% cypress, nothing else included. I use this for so many years with so many of my reptiles, and it works great. Great for perfect sheds, great for them to kind of dig around in. It's a great all-terrain thing, keeps it simple, and again, holds great humidity. So we're just going to pile this in here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get dirty here. This liner was so clutch in terms of making this whole project work. I don't really like this liner too much, truthfully, just because it doesn't mold. I like that blanketed liner that you can get. It's probably quadruple the price, but it's definitely worth it. And I've definitely taken note of that for future projects, and I definitely recommend it. But it's done the trick well for this. Done. Look at that. We have our substrate in. Exciting stuff. So yeah, that's perfect. That'll hold the humidity and moisture well. Let's get the lighting in here. So while at Tinley, I did pick up these guys for the first time. So I did pick up from Arcadia a lamp holder holding up to a 250 and a large lamp protector. So a heat cage. So we're going to make sure we put those in. Arcadia is not a sponsor, but it's the first time using them. I'm excited. I'm excited to see these products being used. I've heard only good things. Cool, because this species, the rhino iguana, is from the Caribbean islands around there in that area, all the way to the Dominican Republic and Haiti. So we want to make sure that this animal has a good, hot basking spot. If I can get this twist tie off, that would be a miracle. There we go. So we want to make sure it has a hot spot of about 105 to 110 degrees. So very manageable. That's why we wanted a high wattage bulb. I did also pick up a bulb, ironically enough, at go to the pet store local to me, because I totally forgot to get a bulb at the show. So now I just have to figure out where I want to put this and mount it. Maybe over here, because the panel will be out of our way, and then I can just line the wire. So that's probably what we're going to do here. It's firmly in place. That is not going anywhere. I'll sturdy up those lights a little bit better later. That way it's up higher, but that is perfect for right now. So yeah, that's there. We're going to have a platform right about up here is the goal for this animal. It can bask and kind of climb up there. So here's the cage right here. So it gives a good enough gap in between the light. This will be really nice to protect the iguana all the way around, so it makes sure that it does not burn itself to the best of our ability to protect it. And then it also has this little bungee strap right here so we can access the light whenever we need to. Pretty cool design. I'm really a fan of this. Pretty cool. All right, so I do have a heat bulb right here. we're just going to slide into this. All right, let's test out the bulb. There we go. Look at that. We have light. One part of it at least. So we got the heat source in, so that is all set and ready to go. Now also too, you might be wondering, what am I going to do in terms of wiring? I could drill out if I really wanted to. Obviously this isn't snug right here. I kind of goofed up, but I couldn't reach that back corner, so it's not that big of a deal over there. I'm not too worried about that. I can always seal that off. But regardless of the wiring, the panel to the electrical is right over here. So all I have to do is I can sneak those wires down in here, and that's totally fine. But again, you don't want the iguana to get back there. And what I'm going to do over on this side, like I said, is I'm just going to grab this piece. Probably get the hammer as well, but brute strength could also do the trick. But you can also see that's in there. So I'm going to just drill that into place to make sure that that doesn't fall, just to be extra secure. But that is our barrier right there to make sure that this animal does not get out. So that is basically the simple solution. Now, again, like I said, we have to make sure that we can get the wires through here. So what I will do is I will do something similar once the wires are through, and then I will kind of close off that area above there. But that's basically how we're going to make that kind of iguana proof. Next part we have to worry about is UVA and UVB lighting, which we have from REPTILES. Also not a sponsor, but I have been using their bulbs for a bit, so we are going to be using this one right here, which is going to be perfect for an iguana to bask and enjoy and soak up those UV rays. So that's what we're going to be doing right now. That's what I use for my bulbs. These guys don't require a lot of electricity, and these are great to kind of hold these bulbs into place. I love these fixtures. Right up here, and then I can rotate this around any which way I want, which would be perfect. So we'll probably kind of set it to be like right over here. And the way I'm thinking of a setup is I want this side to be higher. So like I said, I want this to kind of build up over to here, and we have a whole bunch of different stuff to kind of go with that. And then over here, I want it to be kind of lower, more terrestrial. I want the water bowl and everything over here, and the food going to be over here, because this is where the door is essentially going to be. And maybe we'll put like another lower hide right over here as well. So just kind of building this out as I go, and I think this is going to be really exciting. So this is what we're going to start off with, and now we're going to kind of build it to what I want it to be. And also over time too, I'm sure this is going to change a little bit, so I'm really excited to see how that goes. But yeah, let's go check out and see what supplies we have right now. Alright, this is where the fun stuff begins. So we're going to kind of walk and talk as I do this here. But we're going to start from, basically, like I said, the bottom up, and starting on the warm side. And we'll kind of change this thing around at liberty as I kind of see it. But this is kind of my running start with the supplies that I just kind of grabbed off the bat. So I always like to start with a hide, and this is a big hide box. You've seen this. I've used this for my tortoises. It's a nice area, nice and secluded for the animal to feel secure. So I'm thinking we're probably just going to put this right here. Right inside here, whole bunch of sphagnum moss. Just going to spray a lot in there. Throw that on top, and that's going to be that. So that's going to be kind of what that looks like right there. We also have some cork, and the cork we're going to kind of use throughout. Kind of just play around with some pieces here that we got. The overall goal would be to have this piece of slate right there, so the lizard can go on top of it. Perches right there, that kind of looks cool. I like that a lot, and it fits well. You also want to make sure that this stuff is sturdy. You want to make sure that nothing can make this animal fall. You want to make sure it's feeling secure. I'm also going to put in some sort of system so that the iguana sees the water drip inside here. We want to make sure that the water is something that's moving. Normally iguanas and lizards and other different reptiles too love to see moving water, chameleon species. So some people will put a bubbler in or a drip system in, and that's what we're going to do. Pretty darn good, but always we can improve on it. So I'm thinking so far, I think this is so far the going setup that we're going to have for this guy. I'm really excited. I think this is turning out pretty nice. So let me know in the comments what you think, how you think this animal is going to feel. Again, it's got a whole bunch of areas to climb up, which is great. These guys, especially as babies, are very arboreal rather than terrestrial, and throughout their life they're going to kind of change that, and they'll go from being more arboreal to more terrestrial, and semi-arboreal is what they'll become. But right now, as a baby, I think this is great. Has a lot of areas for this animal to climb up, which is awesome. And there it is. All right, what a day it has been. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears have been shed for this enclosure, I should say, for this baby iguana right here. But that just shows how much we love this baby iguana right here, and we just want to give it the best life possible. Again, guys, I would love your insight and opinions on this build right here. I think it turned out pretty darn good. I am really excited. I think the iguana is really excited as well, too. But I am just too excited. I mean, this has been a lot of work, and I am just so excited to get her into her enclosure. So without further ado, let's put her in and introduce her to her brand new home. Oh, this is so exciting. Come here, friend. Let's see what she does. So she's currently taking a look around right now. How cool is that? Just seeing her on the bark, I mean, she's just blending in right now, but she is definitely enjoying this, that's for sure. Oh, this is what it's all about, guys. This is just so cool. And this is all about doing well for your animals. We want to make sure we're doing the utmost for our animals, and this is just going to build our bond even stronger. I want this animal, like I said, to see me right when I walk into this room, or see anyone when they walk in this room and feel comfortable around people, and be able to know that we are trustworthy and build those threads of trust and really build a relationship with these animals. That is just so, so cool. And we're just going to let her do her thing. Right now, she's just kind of checking things out, seeing what the world is like, and that's totally cool. And over time, like I said, we're going to be updating this, we're going to be improving this. This is the first round of just getting this all ready to go. Hard to believe what this looked like just a few hours ago. It's crazy, but nonetheless, we did it, we finished it. I am so excited, and I am excited to show you updates as time goes on. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. If you guys could do me a few favors, if you could like the video, subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate it, as well as hit that notification bell so you know when I upload. Definitely check me out on social media as well too. I've been posting updates there and some sneak peeks of this project as I've been building it, and we're going to keep updating you guys there as well, so definitely stay tuned there. This iguana is going to be a pinnacle for this channel, and I want to make sure that we give her the utmost that we can. This is enclosure 1 for her. She's got plenty more to come, and this was a fun build to make, so I am so excited to see her grow in this enclosure for sure. It's going to be really exciting. But nonetheless, I appreciate you guys tuning in today. Let me know what you think of the build, and let me know what you think of the enclosure. I appreciate you guys as always, and until next time, I will see you guys soon. Take care. Guys, take a look at this. I just kind of came into the room, just kind of peeked my head through the door, and she is just chilling out. So exciting to walk into this room and immediately see her. Just very, very cool and exciting.